Welcome to Agency Bytes, a podcast for agency owners, hosted by agency veteran and coach Steve Guberman. Agency Bytes is a podcast focused on delivering actionable agency information from agency experts in about 25 minutes. Why 25 minutes? Because who has the attention span for much more these days? And you can squeeze in a listen between meetings with time for a bathroom break or coffee refill before your next meeting.
This episode of Agency Bytes is sponsored by Ignition. From proposals to payments, Ignition gives agencies the tools to work smarter and get paid faster. 91% of payments through Ignition are collected automatically for predictable cash flow. Simplify billing and get paid faster at ignitionapp.com. Use code OUTSIGHT25 to save 50% off on monthly Pro or Pro Plus plans. Welcome to Agency Bytes. I'm your host, Steve Guberman from Agency Outsight, where I coach agency owners to build the business of their dreams. My guest this week is Jennifer Spire, partner and CEO of Preston Spire. They're an Ad Age Best Place to Work and Midwest Small Agency of the Year. With over 25 years of experience across consumer and B2B marketing, she's led Preston Spire through a powerful evolution built on vision, values, and purpose. A former gymnast turned agency leader, Jennifer's energy and leadership have made her a sought-after speaker, writer, and mentor in the industry. Thank you so much for joining me, Jennifer.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, really pumped to learn more about you and the agency that you have built with your partner and what you guys are doing out in the Midwest. Give kind of the backstory, how long you've been running the agency and what has that growth trajectory been like for you?
Yeah, so our agency is 75 years old.
Wow.
We tend not to share that lately because I think some people are saying, well, if you're 75 years old, shouldn't you be like 500 person agency? And we're intentional in the size that we are. And I think we should be proud the fact that our agency has evolved and continued to be relevant year after year for 75 years. So I came in 2016. I am the fourth CEO, first woman to lead the agency. And so Chris Preston has been around. He's my partner, and he's been around for 26 years. And so he had a previous partner CEO. He's the chief creative officer, Chris is. And so I handle all the business strategy part of the business, and then he is the creative and production side of it.
Very cool. Yeah, I think the longevity says a lot about the values and the fine line that goes through the culture and what's been built and what you guys stand for that have always stood for. I was in a room of 50 agency owners last night, and the oldest agency was about 30 years old. So you guys have done something right for a long time, and that's a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, I think it's hard to continue to be relevant and to evolve and embrace change. And we try to change every single year.
Yeah. Did you come in as CEO or did you come in as,
came in as president.
Okay.
I overlapped with the CEO for a year and then took over when he retired.
So that was part of the succession planning of grooming you, bringing you in, et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah.
The reinventing yourselves every year, what does that look like in your vision as the CEO?
Yeah. So we have kind of a vision statement. But we look at what is the vision? What do we want to be looking forward every single year? We don't want to reinvent, but we want to evaluate, see how it's working, make sure it's clear for everybody. But then also, as marketing changes, because it's changing constantly, how does our vision change? So we just had an offsite last Friday working on our vision for 2026. And we have a new ECD, Dustin Black from Call McVoy, who has come in and bringing a fresh perspective to our vision and what we're going to be next year. So a lot of it is still remaining the same because we have a very strong vision, purpose, agency plan, and goals, but we always are looking at that. So we're starting already our planning for next year. We probably do more planning than an agency typically does. We practice what we preach. And so we look at the goals and how we're going to achieve them. We start with people and purpose, because if you align those and the product, you're going to have the profit. And so those are what we focus on, and then we'll achieve our KPIs of profit as a result. So we're working on that right now. And then we are really focused on giving that information to the agency. So in January every year, we share the plan, and we do it in many phases because we give that detail to everyone so they can make the right decisions. We don't want to micromanage them. We want to give them the information, the direction that they need, the purpose that they can follow, and then they can do their job really well. So that's what we do every year. And I think being independent, smaller, and having that purpose-led vision, I think is really helping with our growth.
I agree. Yeah, setting a good vision and inspiring story and rally cry that people can get behind and say, this is what we're driving forward on. Can you talk about kind of what the incremental shifts in what that vision has been from year to year that people can, embed in their day to day?
Yeah, I think moving from 2024 to 2025, we had more of a shift in organic growth, focusing on our existing clients. We have some great clients that have opportunity, one of which is the largest medical device company in the world. And there's so many different brands, different products, different operating units. And we're doing such a great job with our clients right now. Let's leverage that reputation and the great work that we're doing to grow. And so, and then there's many other clients like that we have. And we've been really focusing on just growing them and giving them, exceeding their expectations and over delivering on the work. And I think it energizes the entire agency to do that, but then it also has helped with our growth.
Yeah, so we're going to dig into that, but I want to stick on like kind of the vision and culture and being purpose led. Has the core of the agency always been like this purpose led vision or mission?
No.
Okay.
We started it when I officially took over as CEO. And we had a good wins philosophy. So I don't know if you saw that on our website.
The fist bumps or something, yeah.
Yeah. But good wins is about supercharging the good so brands positively grow, and we want to be a positive force in the world. So what we do is we work with clients, we find their hidden or ignored good in their brand, and we tap into that and. We focus on what's genuinely makes them valuable, and then we amplify it in our work. And we're full service, so we have every kind of discipline and expertise in house, and so we are able to really focus on what their goals are and what they need to accomplish, and we can give them the recommendation that fits that, as opposed to just what we do best. It's what's best for them.
So you're not necessarily targeting purpose-driven organizations, but you're targeting organizations that you can find purpose within to like elevate. And I love that. Yeah.
And I'm glad you clarified that, because there's times where people think, oh, you're a socially responsible agency. You are focused on nonprofits and so forth. Right. We do that. I think that's really important, especially as you're looking at talent, Gen Z, especially really care about making that positive difference in the world. And so we have a lot of philanthropy, nonprofit work that we do. For instance, we just launched another anti-gun campaign, and it was about locking guns. Especially, we were working on it, and but we finally produced it after the Annunciation shooting in Minneapolis, and so it's very heartfelt for us to work on this, and we're getting the word out, and media is picking it up, because the more people who see our message, hopefully less people are harmed or killed from guns. So we do those kinds of things in addition to our paying clients.
Okay. So you talked about having, being full service, having everybody under one roof, all your expertise. From an organizational standpoint, you're not a flat organization, but you kind of have a more unique structure to hierarchy, management, et cetera, et cetera. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So we're a very senior agency. So we have like a supervisor and up level of people. we do have a couple more junior people, and but I think we do best with our clients when we have senior people who are willing to lead, be very strategic and planful, but then also do the work. So it takes a special person who's willing to do that. There's times where I'm interviewing people and they're like, oh no, I delegate. I want to be just the strategy and the leader, but I don't want to do the work. That doesn't work for us. We want them to be like player coaches. So we have even identified, like, at this level, you should be this percentage leading, this percentage managing the work, this percentage making. And everybody makes. I am very, I'm not only leading the entire agency, helping with every single client that we have in the agency, but also I'm doing some of the work too. And we hire people who love to do the work. They're like really passionate. They have that zeal for advertising, for marketing, for their clients, and so they want to do it. So there's no complaints on doing that.
At that level and many levels below, you can't have people that are just kind of sitting waiting for the next thing. Like, they've got to be able to roll their sleeves up and get in.
Yeah.
And actually, as I say that, I don't know any level where you can get away with that. Like 5 people, 20 people, 40 people, you've got to have players that are willing to roll up their sleeves and move pixels around, or like do the thing that needs to be done to get it done.
Yeah.
So you got to have that.
Yeah. And our clients really appreciate it because they see the level. I think our work is better. We are able to be smarter. We are very solution oriented for them. We're able to, when we have a senior team, you're able to identify the challenges for them and solve them pretty quickly. And we get the job done well and quickly because you're not, a person who's junior may have to spend 30 hours on something that may take 5 hours for someone, at a director level.
Yeah. Are most of your engagements AORs or campaigns or projects?
Yeah. Most of them are AORs.
Okay.
And we want to continue that. I know I hear from other agencies. I'm in a CEO forum through the 4As, and a lot of them talk about the increasing project-based work that they're getting. And we're very fortunate, I think, because of the strong relationships that we have, most of our clients are AOR.
Yeah, that's really great to hear because, there is a huge shift in trend from holdcos all the way down to kind of mid-size, but even independent agencies of moving into the project work. But for you all to go out and hunt and find a new client that you can land and expand, it's a big, expensive, long, drawn-out process, and AOR doesn't happen over a cup of coffee in most cases, unless you're the luckiest agency owner in the world. But so your strategy this year has really been like, how do we expand these accounts that we've got brilliant relationships with? And I think it's a strategy that so many agencies overlook of like, we're taking care of this client. They're fine. They're good. Let's go find the next 1 or 2 or 3. But there's so much that can be done there. Talk about the mindset there, the relationships that need to happen, some of the like tactical things that y'all are doing to make that happen.
Yeah, I think there was something for me that was eye-opening. We had a client that seemed very happy. The work was happy. We were having fun doing the campaigns. They were exceeding their goals year after year, but all of a sudden they went away, and they went to another agency because we weren't taking them for granted, but maybe we just thought, it's going really well. I need to focus my effort somewhere else. And so that was really eye-opening for me. And so we put together a really robust process for organic growth, for focusing on our clients and giving them, exceeding all of their expectations. And one thing is, that senior level leadership on their account. Chris Preston and I are very much involved in every single piece of business. And we're not just figureheads checking in. We're influencing the work and really caring about them and paying attention to what's going on in their industry and what's going on with them and having those conversations. We present our capabilities because our capabilities are always improving and changing as marketing changes. So we present our capabilities each year to our current clients. And a lot of agencies don't do that.
Nope.
And so when we do that, they're saying, oh, we have a new need. And so maybe they weren't working on performance media with us, and they realize the in-depth capabilities we have there and maybe some case studies. And then they start talking to us about that, and that's how we grow. So doing that every single year for every single client, I highly recommend. Making sure there are top to top meetings. So for me to meet with the client's CEO, president, board of directors, other top people, I think is incredibly important. And having those relationships, because they may not be that involved in the work, but they can make a decision to change agencies. And so I think that's critically important. And also when you do that, you can support your CMO and director of marketing because you understand what their boss cares about and what's concerning them. And then we can provide some solutions for them so that they are succeeding internally as well. So I think that's really important.
Every hour you spend chasing signatures or overdue invoices is time you're not growing your agency. That's why over 8,000 customers trust Ignition to automate agreements and payments, saving up to 18 hours a week. Improve cash flow without awkward follow-ups with Ignition at ignitionapp.com. Use code OUTSIGHT25 to save 50% off on monthly Pro or Pro Plus plans. So it's interesting. I see more of that than I do like, hey, let's represent our Capes deck because we've added new, performance marketing, like you said. And that ladder of like understanding the vision of the CEO and the roadmap of products and delivery and services and whatever else gives the team the ability to go back and think of like, oh, these are ideas and solutions that we can present to the marketing team or the product development team or whatever in response to what the CEO said. So it makes them kind of think more strategically about their clients' future needs. And that's where I see the expansion of accounts of, hey, CEO Sally Jones talked about this, and this is her vision for next year. We started doing this thing, and we think it can impact you in Q1. Can we talk about expanding scope or expanding, new project under MSA or things like that?
Yeah.
But so I think it's an interesting way to. The worst thing you ever want to hear is, oh, we hired this other agency because we didn't know you guys did that. Like, to me, that's the worst thing you ever want to hear. And so you're preventing that, right?
Yes.
And I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Proactively preventing that. Yeah. And then I know a lot of agencies do this, but we have annual performance reviews. We have a survey. We have one version that's kind of a template survey. But if some clients want something customized and more in depth, we have that option as well. And then we have action plans that we put in place. We have quarterly performance check-in meetings. There are some clients that maybe they don't want a survey. That comes across as not cold, but impersonal. And so we have those performance conversations. Maybe they're top to top meetings or with the head marketing team, and just making sure that we're doing that on a regular basis and really acting on that feedback right away. And we're giving them feedback too, how they can be better clients. And they
training clients to be better clients. Get out of here. What a concept. I love it.
I know.
Yeah. So a lot of that sounds kind of structured and almost robotic. What are the I guess senior level or what's the account team doing to be more casual in building like really gelled relationships?
Yeah. Well, first you have to have the right people in place. And we do. We have amazing account directors, and they are empowered. Being at an independent agency, there's nobody really telling them what to do. They treat it as their own business, and we're an ESOP, so we're a partial ESOP, and so they know that their actions and the work that they do and the growth that we get with our clients as they grow will impact them personally, from money that goes into the ESOP and the share price that we have, but also bonuses at the end of the year and salary increases, and so they know that. So they're empowered by that, but they're empowered because we have the right people that really care about the clients. And also being independent, I always tell the clients that like we make the decisions that are best for our clients and our people. because we don't have stakeholders, outside stakeholders or shareholders that are telling us what to do, making decisions that are best for just our bottom line. It really is best for the client. And so if the account directors and the other leaders on that account team understand that, I think they organically can make the right decisions. They feel empowered. They're excited. They show how much they care. I think it's just organic every day. Like every day I'm feeling it, I'm seeing it. And they love what they do. There's such an energy in them. So I think that's the unstructured part of it. It's just having the right people, the right attitude, the empowerment that they have. It's just been great. And, one of the things, not just for account leaders, but everybody in the agency, I think we have an amazing culture. And as a result of that, we haven't had anybody voluntarily leave our agency in 2.5 years.
Wow.
And well, it's probably longer. So if I'm hoping, knock on wood, by the end of this year, it'll be 3 years. And
that's beautiful.
So I'm very proud of that. And people want to be here. And they're not here just to, be lazy and just have a job. No, they want us to grow. They want their clients to grow. It's just, it's pretty amazing.
And if you're performance driven, especially as an ESOP, which I don't think I knew about, they're not going to let their colleagues get lazy on the performance.
Correct.
They hold each other. They've got to hold each other accountable, and it's not a top down, bottom up. It's peer to peer. No, you've got to do better because we all want to win here.
Yeah. When I first started in 2016, everybody told me, "Oh, it's a family here." There's a lot of high tenure people here, and it's a family. And I love that. I love the fact that people really care about each other and enjoy working together and feel like the family. But I turned it more into a team. There needs to be a little bit of that competition, that push for everybody to be better. And so that's what we have. That's the culture that we have now. There is a little bit still of that family feel because the caring part is there, and that caring part is from the top down too. But it's more of a team where everybody's pushing themselves to be better.
Yeah, I prefer team over family. I love my family personally. They're gems, but I don't know that I'd want to necessarily work with them, and firing them would be pretty tough. So I'm better with a team.
Definitely.
When did the ESOP get built in?
20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been over 20 years. So it's been around for a while. We've intentionally kept it a partial ESOP. So Chris, Preston, and I are majority owners still. But then we're allowing, still people get to have that ownership. And we're not 100% ESOP because a lot of times with that, you have an external board. And they're, again, telling you what to do that may be best for the share price as opposed to what's best for the clients and the people and the agency. Yeah. And so we've intentionally kept it a partial ESOP.
So then I'm curious, you mentioned earlier, you do this offsite for vision planning for the next year. Who are the stakeholders that are involved in that? Is it just your senior leadership or is it like senior ownership as well?
Yeah, so we have leadership. So Chris, Preston, and I are part of that, as well as our leadership team. And so we have a leader who runs the account management and project management teams. We have a leader that runs the media and digital teams. And then we have an ECD who runs creative underneath Chris Preston. And then we have a CMO. And that person, Preston Spire, is their client. So they manage the brand of our own agency and then also lead new business. So that's the team. And we are, we work on the planning. We engage people in the agencies so they feel they have ownership. They understand the direction. We're listening to them and what they, their advice as well. So we're not doing it in a vacuum. So then when we do share the plan, and we do this regularly, like we'll share the plan in January, but every single month we get together and talk about progress that we're making on it, and changes that we're making on it because things have changed. Or, somebody within the agency has brought a new idea to us and wants to bring it to life. So every single month, we are sharing our vision, we are sharing our purpose and positioning and our plan and how we're going against that.
I love that, and the fact that you've got transparency into it and the progress or lack thereof, if that may be the case, of where you are kind of on the metrics throughout the year. 12 check-ins is really powerful versus being blindsided. Even a quarter in, so much can happen in a single quarter. So the fact that you're that upfront about it and transparent with the entire team is really powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah. It sounds like what you guys are doing there is amazing. I love the way that you are doing the purpose-led work and not necessarily being defined by we only work with purpose-led organizations, and how you've set the stage as a very visionary CEO. So very exciting. Shift gears. I want to throw a couple of random rapid fires at you just because I love doing them. So first one is, what's one everyday product that you think has brilliant branding?
Oh boy. Well, I just this morning read about the new Crocs change in their brand, and unlike some other, I don't know if you've seen it, but unlike some other brands who have rebranded and new logos and brand identity that haven't gone well this year, this one I think went really well. So that's top of mind because I just read about it this morning. So yeah, Crocs, and I think it's a brand that has been around for so long, and they've had to reinvent themselves and look at different types of audiences and try to stay relevant, because I think there's times where they weren't relevant and nobody wanted to wear Crocs. Oh my gosh, why are you wearing those? Why? But they've been able to figure it out and kind of take risks and do things differently. So I love their new logo. And so that's one of them. There's so many.
Okay. Yeah, I love some of their partnerships. I'll have to see. I probably saw their rebrand in a brand new email from brand new. I'll have to check back to it. So if you weren't leading an agency, what do you think you would be doing otherwise?
Well, I've always wanted to. So my grandfather led an agency. So he was a partner at Sullivan Stauffer, Caldwell and Ballas, SSC&B in New York in the heyday of the Madison Avenue heyday in the 50s. And so his clients, he was in account management, and that's where I grew up. And his clients were Lucky Strikes and Pall Mall Cigarettes and Lehman Brothers and so forth. So he, as kids, we learned about what he was doing. And for some reason, I was the one that wanted to learn more. And so he'd pull, I wouldn't see him that often. He lived in Florida in Coral Gables. That's where his agency was. And he would pull me aside and kind of show me some things. And I think at the age of 9, I'm going to get into advertising. And I did. So I went to college for it, and I got into it right after college. And I've been in it, you said at the very beginning, 25 plus years. It's been longer than that. But I love it. And I don't think I'd want to do anything else. Yeah. I love the creativity. I love the ever changing, every day is challenging, rewarding, different. And working with different clients in different industries. I am an expert in so many different industries. I'm just so well-rounded. And I think, so many other people in the industry, I tell them that when they come to our agency, that, you have don't take for granted that you get to be such an expert and be so well-rounded. And it's just, I think it gives a more fulfilling life.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, it's literally in your blood. It sounds like they wrote a TV show about your grandfather and his agency, maybe.
Mad Men. My sister even thinks that, I forgot his name. Roger
Sterling.
Yeah, with his bow tie, because my grandfather.
Oh, Bert.
Bow ties, and there's times where he really looks like my grandfather. So
that's funny. That's funny. And then finally, what's one agency, I'll use this word loosely, rule that you love breaking or you think more agency leaders should break?
I think we should always look at breaking rules. I think, that's a hard question. I would say if this is not answering it exactly, but if somebody in our agency wants to break a rule and do things differently than maybe we have set out, I'm going to be supportive of it, especially if they have strong rationale and they've thought through it. We have at our agency a lot of foundation, but it's not steadfast rules. So we have this foundation for you to be successful, but you take that and do whatever you need with it. So break the rules if you need to do what's best for, again, yourselves, your clients, your team. But yeah, I probably didn't answer that question well, but
perfectly. Yeah. Listen, you broke the rule and answered it how you felt, but you guys have you have guardrails, and if somebody wants to veer out of that, like, you're going to support them because it's for the benefit of doing better work and building a better team and growing an account. And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing what you've built and how you've done what you've done. And a lot of value in your experience and the growth that you guys have experienced. So I appreciate you very much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being on this.
Thanks again for tuning in to Agency Bytes. If you know someone with expert knowledge on a topic that agency owners would love to hear about, go to agencyoutsight.com/podcast-guest and nominate them.